Black Ops Cold War got a full-blown multiplayer reveal. First, we are going to be going over the multiplayer details. But I do gotta mention, if you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative, be sure to like this video, helps out the video a lot, as well as subscribe for more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War videos. Tomorrow, we're going to be breaking down the minor teaser we got for zombies. There's a lot of information, believe it or not, and I got some theories. But yeah, with that all out the way, let's get on to seeing things, or talk about things that I noticed when watching people stream. Specifically, JackFrags. Now, the gameplay you're seeing is a video he done. Link to it down below, as well as obviously in the bottom left. This is JackFrags gameplay. You will be seeing the JackFrags, thing saying it's JackFrags' gameplay. So bottom left, that's his credit to him. I don't get invited to these events, so I don't get gameplay early. So yeah, that's pretty much the best I can do. Now, in general, things I noticed, these are going to be going over good and bad things. The gunsmith doesn't look as detailed, but at least it's back, right? Now, we're going to be going over to some specifically the other stuff with it, but, gunsmith is kind of stripped back. It's pretty simple. At least it's there, right? At least it's there. It's such a feature we wanted. Now, the colors look pretty bright. It's pretty standard Treyarch. We're not surprised there. Now, the operator menu looks weak. Don't know what's going on with the artistic UI design. It is failing on a lot of fronts, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to movement system, where you're losing the ability to mount your weapons, there is no doors, as well as there is no tactical sprint. I think the tactical sprint is going to be one that I'm really going to miss a lot. I do like mounting, but again, I understand its issues when it comes to gameplay and multiplayer. Now, I do not like the settings for the map. They have a lot of unrealistic settings. Like, come on, artillery strikes in Miami? That makes no sense at all. Now, sliding is a thing. This looks like it's very similar to how it works in Modern Warfare. Now, I don't know how slide spammy is going to be. People that were playing the game seems to be very slide spammy, like Destiny 2 style slide spammy. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about seeing that all around. I might abuse the system myself, gotta be honest. But yeah, spawn sliding is a thing. Now, on to the next one. I was noticing spawn trapping was actually becoming a thing. It's kind of nerve-wracking because a lot of these guys only have 5 hours of game time in general, from like obviously before and then now and the stream. It's weird. I was very surprised seeing that spawn trapping was a thing, especially in the 3-lane maps. They kind of praise them of not doing that so much. Now, one thing I'm a little nervous about, we'll get into detail later, is that can't even talk. Score streaks don't reset. Now, being on a streak like a kill streak though does add more points per kill, so that's somewhat a multiplier. But again, I'm not a fan of score streaks in general. I'm not a fan of this concept. We gotta wait and see how it works. But yeah, not really a fan. We'll get into details later. Now, quoting JackFrags a little bit, he says the game feels clunky, and I kind of do agree with him. It looks clunky. They're kind of going back on the movement system that was kind of in Modern Warfare, which I honestly love. But yeah, we gotta wait and see how that feels personally with them ourselves. Now, the guns have low recoil. A little nervous about that. I do like some moderate to high recoil weapons, but again, what do I know, Treyarch? You guys apparently know how to make multiplayer games. I have some disagreement to that statement, but yeah. Now, he also mentioned that, this game is a little bit of a stripped back version of Modern Warfare. Basically, not as much details, not as much polish, not as much features, stuff like that. That's a little bit scaring, coming from a guy that loves Battlefield, that loves Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and just loves a lot of shooters that have a lot of advanced movement-based systems. This game looks simple, and him saying that kind of gets me scared personally. But again, we gotta wait and see. I don't have hands-on expressions of it yet, so these are just going by what I see as what we learned from the reveal. Now, guns audio-wise don't sound as good. This is pretty clear that this is not on the engine because the graphics don't look as well either. Again, this is only aesthetics. They're not really going to affect the game, but it's a little disheartening to see the quality actually go down a little bit, even though we're making a generational upgrade. At least we're getting 4K ray tracing and, higher frame rates on consoles. But again, it's a little weird. Now, the TTK is described as being slightly faster than Black Ops 4. Let's see how that works. I'm not really a fan of higher TTK Call of Duty games. Higher TTK shooters I'm fine with, but Call of Duty specifically, kind of a realistic style arcade shooter or just realistic setting shooter, we gotta wait and see. Hopefully it's faster than Black Ops 4, but again, hands-on, don't have it. Now, there's also no sniper glint. That's a little nerve-wracking, but we'll wait and see how that goes and plays out in multiplayer. Now, in this part, we're going to be going over things I learned from the real stream themselves, details I talked about. And I got to admit, the first thing I got to get out the way, I really despised and just was disgusted by the presentation. It was so robotically, it was so scripted, it was so fake. And I get it, these events are scripted, but it's kind of just disheartening to see them talk like a robot to me. and over exaggerate emotions, and it was just full. It was awful. It was disgusting. I just gotta get that off my chest. Now, when it comes to, we're going to talk about their core values a little bit. So they're basically, their settings, deniable operations. They talked about how they're supposed to be realistic, and I personally don't see that too much because, again, we're, in Miami with artillery strikes, in Moscow with these kill streaks and a gunfight. It doesn't seem realistic setting-wise. No fucking way will there be a gunfight in Moscow and World War III would not have fucking broken out. Like, there's no way that would happen. If they killed American, British, NATO soldiers in Russia, Moscow, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that war would have broke out. There's no way that's realistic. Again, some of these other maps, like, Satellite, they're very realistic setting. I get it. There are places really fights could have happened and nobody really would have cared about it and actually started a war over it. So I get it. That's reasonable, but Miami, Moscow, very highly unrealistic maps. Now, again, I gotta go back to Satellite. This honestly looks like the best designed map. It doesn't suffer from the 3-lane structure I worry about. It actually takes more of the Modern Warfare approach with the King of the Hill style. The Satellite's pretty much the power position of the map, and I like that a lot. I like that style of maps. So the Satellite seemingly will be probably one of my favorite maps from what it looks like. Now, Armada is also an interesting concept. It's basically not lane restricted, but it's restricted to ships. It's described as being pretty high octane. We gotta wait and see how that plays out. But from what it looks of it, it looks like a very, very good map. Now, Moscow is unrealistic setting, like I said before, and it suffers and looks from that boring 3-lane structure. We'll get into details why I don't like the 3-lane structure at the end of the video. But again, it's, in my opinion, has that 3-lane structure. Now, Miami looks beautiful. The colors look phenomenal. But again, it's also unrealistic in setting. And there's a potential visibility issue with it. I was watching people play. I saw the reveal stream. There's issues where I see that the colors and even the shadows might cause visibility issues and not being able to see people properly. I know my friend Nick is probably not happy about that, but we'll wait and see and get his rage moments when that moment comes. Now, Crossroads is a realistic setting, and this is kind of one of the, long-range galore maps. I'm, pretty happy about that. Now, just in general, they kind of highlighted how they were not using the Modern Warfare engine, and I think in general, using the old engine just scares me, and I'm worried about that. Now, going back to some positive news, Hardpoint looks like it will be the best game mode. Now, this should be no surprise as Treyarch has created Hardpoint. I'm pretty sure they did. I could be wrong. Maybe Advanced Warfare did? No. I'm pretty sure it was Black Ops 2. Sorry about that. I was doubting myself, but it's pretty much a Treyarch staple. They're very good at Hardpoint, and I'm pretty much very excited about that. Now, Combined Arms is going to tragically replace Ground War. So if you guys love Ground War Modern Warfare, Combined Arms will be replacing that. And this isn't as big battles. It's going to be 12v12 battles with vehicles such as tanks, gunboats, etc. So there you go on that one. Now, when it comes to creative class, thank God the pick 10 is gone. I was never a fan of the pick 10 system. I thought it was highly just restrictive, and nobody was going to use a secondary. They made a lot of things obsolete because nobody was going to pick them unless they very much had to. I know I didn't pick a secondary, and even tacticals or lethals, I just stocked up on perks and attachments. It just didn't work out, in my opinion. So I'm glad that's gone. Now, field upgrades are back, and the good thing is that Dead Silence, I know a lot of people are a fan of this not being a field upgrade. It's now a perk itself, Ninja. But again, I kind of liked it as a field upgrade, but we'll kind of see. I understand the balancing issues. It was pretty much the only one people were using for the most part. Now, wild cards are back, and I actually like this system a lot. Now, they described 4. I don't know if there's going to be more, but there was one that you can get more attachments on your guns. There's another one where you could basically double up on lethals and tacticals. It was just a very, I like wild cards in general. They're very, very good. Now, as we talked, about the gunsmith in general, how it didn't really look simple and it doesn't look as good. At least we can be, thankful that the gunsmith is back. And most importantly, I think one improvement Treyarch is making that I think we all want to see, and we were happy that they're doing, is that they're bringing actual visible percentages into what the attachment does itself, like per 30% boost to movement speed. Modern Warfare just did plus and minuses, and it never really calculated perfectly to your visible eye with a specific number. So Treyarch's doing that. I'm actually happy they're doing that. Attachments, we need to know what the hell they do specifically, because again, a third-party site should not have to do it for us. It should be done in the game by the developers. Now, when it comes to score streaks, they don't reset after death. Now, this is good and bad. It's good for just a general average player, just getting a chance to use all kill streaks in the game. But again, it's kind of bad because what's the point of being excited about, oh my god, I got a chopper gunner? You get what I'm saying? There's no build, there's no excitement to that. It's kind of like, oh, I got my chopper gunner back. Oh, I got this. Like, it kind of just, kind of shits on the excitement of and the hype of getting a kill streak. But, at least there's a cooldown after you use them, so there's they avoid spam, as they said. So a lot of people that played said that there wasn't spam, which is a good thing. Now, one thing, again, I noticed before, and they kind of iterated, was that, being on a kill streak gives more score. You get basically faster percentage of going to your score streaks, so that's very good indeed. Now, Ninja is back. Ninja is Dead Silence. It's a perk, and it also just works as just only when sprinting. So when you're sprinting, Ninja will make those steps quieter, but when you're moving in general, they're not so quiet. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much enough said on that perk. Now, when it comes to Warzone details, this is all the juicy stuff they talked about, which was pretty much nothing new. There was nothing they offered about Warzone that we didn't know. And in general, I was kind of hurt about it. Again, they kind of reference Verdansk, so I don't even know if we're gonna get a new map, and we just know that we're gonna get Call of Duty Black Ops weapons, vehicles, and stuff like that, and themes. But besides that, that's pretty much all I know on Verdansk and Warzone in general, and that's pretty much all we know. We just know it's making a comeback. Everything I talked about in my previous thing about Warzone details and in one of my other videos, there's nothing new. I'm a little pissed off about that. But now at this end of the video, I'm gonna break down the 3-lane maps quickly, as much as possible. This video's kind of getting long, but I don't like 3-lane maps, or when they focus heavily on 3-lane maps, because 3-lane maps on paper are identically the same as every map that has a 3-lane. Now, there might be little changes of minor routes in terms of positioning and stuff like that, but when you take a top-down look at 3-lane maps, they share similar game flows. Now, when you're playing a competitive game in a pro scene, this is perfect, this is great. But when you're just playing a public shooter casually with friends and stuff like that, this creates, in my opinion, very, very dull gameplay, and it really hinders the life cycle of a Call of Duty. We've seen this before. We've seen Call of Duty take these steps, and it pretty much halted the life cycle to 3 months. It took Call of Duty Modern Warfare recently to make a life cycle so massive that we haven't seen since the Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2 days of us playing a Call of Duty entirely. It's crazy, and I fear Black Ops taking this direction and hurting the map flow and just gameplay flow and just the desire to play multiplayer. We gotta wait and see what changes they do to Warzone. I really hope they don't do much. They just add the aesthetics. But in general, let me know what you guys think about all the details surrounding Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Again, if you guys found this video informative, be sure to like this video, helps out the video a lot, and subscribe for more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War content. As I said earlier, tomorrow expect a Black Ops video talking about zombies. Some details we may have got with zombies, some information I was able to pull apart and see in that very, very short teaser. So if you guys are excited for that and want to check it out, definitely subscribe, ring that bell if you want. Don't really want to force you to ring that bell. If you want to ring the bell, man. Be a nice guy. But yeah, with all that being said, that's all I got. I'm out of breath. This is a lot of details. Shadow Ninja here, and I'm out.